All right, welcome back to Candidately's What's Next user conference. In this track, you will hear from our most favorite industry expert and partner, Lauren Jones, on what she thinks about the importance of client experience for staffing companies. Welcome, Lauren.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Yeah. Before we dive into a few questions and a conversation, tell us a little bit about your business. I know you have a lot of things going on. You're growing and growing the business. So I'm just excited to hear a little bit more and also give our listeners and customers some insights on what you do.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to do that. So my name is Lauren Jones. I'm the founder and CEO of Leap Consulting Solutions. I've been in the industry for now over 25 years and in every capacity. So I grew up in the industry. This is what I know and this is what I love. Leap things. Build, change, adopt are our three pillars. Will help you build out your technology ecosystem. So we work as an agnostic partner to help you make well-educated decisions based on your specific requirements, as opposed to just looking at the shiny objects that are out there, really just determining what does your business actually need, and then align you with the right choices to make. We'll even navigate you through contract negotiation if you want. Then we'll help with business process change management, because as well as I do, that over customization is a real issue and it can be to the detriment of the agency to your technology investments. So we do a lot of project management to help through configuration to ensure that we're using the best out of the box features of all the technologies that we support. And then
Perfect.
finally, we'll help you with adoption. We do bespoke training. We'll take because the disconnect here with technology, with software as it is today, is particularly with the ATS and CRM, once we're done with configuration, it may look nothing like the system that's in the knowledge bank for training, which creates a disconnect for the end users. So we do entire bespoke training suites to ensure the stickiness and ROI on your investment. It's probably where we spend the most amount of hours.
Perfect. Yeah, super excited about that as well, because I think, the learning aspect and generally learning new technologies is super important. So specifically for users, we try to make sure that we have our own learning materials often, but I agree, it's a well-needed segment in the industry. So well done for executing it so well.
Thank you.
At the World Staffing Summit last week, which was a great event for staffing leaders and operators to learn anything they need about certain aspects of the industry, this year was really the focus of client experience. So we explored what does client experience mean and what does it mean for the industry. And you had a great with some other experts. So I would just love to hear from your perspective, how can staffing companies really adapt to this rise of digital natives, millennials that are coming into the workforce, that are taking over management roles, that are now becoming the new buyers to staffing services? What can staffing agencies do to really stay relevant in the future, and how can they adapt to this new buyer group?
Yeah. You have Gen Zs, you have just the digital, they know nothing other than technology. And so we look at millennials and we look at Gen Zs in particular, and then the Gen Xers, which are still account for a percentage of the workforce, but millennials by 2025 will account for 75%. Gen Zs are right behind them. And then we've got that mix of Gen Xers and then a small portion of baby boomers that are still around. But when we look at what does the industry need to do to ensure that we're acknowledging and honoring the way that they want to communicate, it's incorporation of technology, just and simple. We still have agencies that are very manual, and you are going to see this demand for it on the client side. They want to know, particularly your millennial orderers, right? They want to communicate how they want to communicate. So that whole, I hate buzzwords, but I'll use it, omni-channel, meeting them where they are. It's going to be the expectation that your Gen Zs love to communicate with a bot, but they also love a handshake. Your millennials are really good with textings, and your Gen Xers are still love that good old-fashioned email. But it's going to be about that nimbleness and that omni-channel, being able to meet not only the client but the candidate where they are. And you're going to find that many of the things like a bot are table stakes, and it's something that is just required to do business. So I think you're going to see this. We used to have this baseline for a tech stack, have your ATS and CRM. That was about it that was on the requirements list. Now I think the list is getting bigger and bigger, right?
Yeah.
We need direct sourcing, like a tool like Candidly, because we need to create visibility. I think you're going to see more consumerism, and I've talked about this kind of endlessly. Customers are also consumers.
Yeah.
So the behavior that we saw during COVID and being able to have everything delivered, that same mentality is coming into both sides of our industry. And so preparedness there from a technology perspective is going to be fundamental. And then I'll make one more point about incorporating tech. there's a pretty astounding statistic when it comes to us recruiting internal people. Generationally, 86% of those millennial recruiters say that tech is a differentiator for them making a determination as to whether or not they're going to work for you, the agency. But half of them don't feel trained. This training and adoption thing is, I think we're going to start hearing it over and over again.
Over and over. Yeah. And when you look at your customer base today, when you work with customers, really from finding what's the best tech stack, really to implementing it and executing on the training, how important is a client experience for those customers today? Do you see it becoming more important? Because we've seen obviously the last years was everything about candidate experience, doing anything for the candidate. What do you see on the client experience? Do you see some changes? Do you see more and more people are interested in that segment, or is it still slowly growing?
Yeah, I think it's slowly growing. Clients have always been slow to change in our industry, very resistant to it, and particularly in healthcare, right? You have agency or they're set in their ways, and this is the way we do it, and we do paper time cards, and we do those types of things. And I think it's going to be incumbent upon us to be more consultative to customers and help guide them to better, more streamlined solutions. But if you saw some of the stats from a GigE this year, and as it pertains to let's just talk automation, right? These huge percentages on the number of automations that are happening on the candidate side.
Yeah.
And then that gets cut in half when we start talking about the client. And because clients are just a little bit more resistant to that. They have a formula that works with their agency and they don't want to disrupt that. But I think that we're going to start seeing some different wants and desires as they see their work, and particularly with all of these tech layoffs. And we know solar tech is picking up some of that. But I think that customers still are going to demand that we are agile.
Yeah. Absolutely. Cool. That's really great insights. Thank you so much. And one last question that I have. Do you believe, or do you have any thoughts about the untapped potential of opportunities in the industry? And it could be business model, could be a segment, could be branding, anything that you feel like staffing agencies could in general do better or find maybe new ways to grow or in the next coming years?
Yeah, I'm seeing more niche happening, particularly in healthcare. I don't know if you've seen this too, really getting super niche with specific modalities. We're seeing behavioral health. We're seeing all sorts of segmentation and sort of niches being cut out in healthcare specifically. I'm seeing that happening in engineering as well. And just as really specific. And then I'm also seeing it on the Blockhouse, specifically for blockchain. And so I think you're going to see, absolutely, we're going to see more M&A. That's just not going to stop being part of the conversation as we come into 2023. But I see that nicheness, or that I see that as a huge, I think we're going to see a huge influx of that.
But it's important, right? Both for attracting candidates, attracting customers, having a very clear value proposition and standing out from generalists that do everything and nothing, being really focused and having that brand and having that conciseness. It's definitely going to stand out. So yeah, I totally agree.
And I think you're going to see more project work, meaning more project design solutions for a specific customer need, as opposed to I need 25 people. We're saying I need this outcome.
Yeah.
And then we are saying how many people would be needed for that, and this is how much it would cost. It allows us to control margin in a meaningful way. So I think you're going to see more of that as well. I do think that we are going to see a big dip in direct hire, but that usually happens in times of uncertainty. But we'll see more hourly, and we'll watch direct hire go down a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Lauren, for all those insights. If somebody's watching that they want to find you, where can people, or people listening now?
Yes, I'm the GOAT leader on LinkedIn. So you can find the GOAT on LinkedIn. Please DM me there, or you can email me, Lauren@leapconsultingsolutions.com. And I'm on Instagram, Twitter, @LBuffJones on Twitter. So you can find me just about anywhere.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Lauren. And if somebody has questions about Lauren services, please reach out to me as well. I'm happy to connect you. Lauren has always been a great partner and a really great expert in the industry, super insights. So thank you for joining this user conference. Hope this was helpful to everybody watching. And I'll see you soon, Lauren. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.